Okay, I want to welcome everyone to the January 12, 2024 meeting of the New Jersey Antique Radio Club here at Infoage. And yes, Happy New Year to everyone. Getting a little trite considering it's the 12th of the month, but that's okay. Any new faces in the crowd?
One.
Two.
Well, Peppy.
Yes, sir. Who are you? Say it again. Stand up, please.
Sure. Hello, Bob.
Hello.
Thank you.
Bob, first, what brings you here? How did you find out about us?
Well, I found out about you because I've actually visited here a couple of times and talked to the guys in the radio thing. I've been interested in it for a long time.
Great. What do you collect? What do you expect to collect?
Well, I collect, most of the stuff is the 60s and 70s, but I have some back to 23 and 1923 and stuff.
So you've been collecting for a while
I
now.
collect everything.
And where do you live?
Middletown,
Middletown.
New Jersey.
Yeah. All right. Great. Well, welcome you on board, please.
Thank you.
And it's nice to see you got hair, and it's almost dark. You haven't hit the 70 yet.
Yes, I have.
What?
70. Yep.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
All right, and so we have another face in the crowd. Pepe, you want to stand up and tell us something?
He's not new. He's been here before.
He's been in here?
No, Princeton. Princeton.
Did Peppy pay his dues?
Remember we have in Princeton?
Oh, we have a family
Oh,
member.
that's right. Now I remember, that's right. I put it down. Okay, great. Well, always happy to see Pepe.
Hi, Peppy. You're on YouTube.
Okay.
Good boy.
Infirmary report. Happily, I have nothing to report. Other than attending a Christmas party, a gathering, rather large one, it's my family, and 3 days later, half the crew got sick, you know. You name it, China virus, everything else that was around, and we got that.
Got them all, huh?
Got them all, but it was worth it, we had a good time.
John McCullough is home with a bad cold right
Okay.
Really?
now. Yes.
Oh, okay, so just he didn't want to put himself in a position of bidding on any bone anchors.
I can show you his text messages.
All right. Oh, before I go on, I have to mention that, well, I can't talk to our DX membership because we are not out with a live feed on YouTube this evening. Our videographer couldn't make it for reasons, and our number 2 videographer couldn't make it for reasons. So we have our third videographer. Thank goodness we have Bob Bennett with us this evening. And Bob...
You working, Bob?
Bob
I don't know.
We'll be making a video, and it'll be archived. So our DX membership will eventually see the meeting. Okay. All right, on to old business. And we're going way, way back into the time machine of old business. We're going back into our Fall Hand Fest, our swap meet show at Parsons PPL. And that was number 8. Yeah, it was November 18th. Does anyone remember anything about that swap meet? Anybody?
All the tables got sold?
Ah, very good. Yes. Actually, we were sold out. First time in a long time, actually. We sold, I believe it was 51 tables. And for the first time in my career as your president, I actually turned people away from the Swamp Meet Amfest, where there was just no more room. And I mean, it was sad, but amazing, to tell you the truth. And I say, people, please, make your reservations early. Don't let it happen to you. And there was a couple of people I knew, too. And I said, look, you know, we have a fire marshal that comes by, and there's a count on the wall, how many people you're supposed to have, and I just didn't want to go through that. So, as it is now, we, you know, we me put it that way. So, I mean, as the show went, I think it went really well. The gate can always be better, but we had plenty of vendors, plenty of stuff to sell, and plenty of people were buying. So, all right, and then right after that, well, is December. And I think we had a very nice holiday party on December 9th. The mother and son servers, I think they were great. If you remember that team, they were really good.
They were awesome.
Weren't they?
They were really good.
Anything you could need, they were helpful, and really nice crew. And of course, we had great food, good wine, and look, I'll be honest, two cases you guys polished, all right? There was not one left, all right? And that's okay, not a problem. I love my Portuguese wine, and you guys do too. And it was mentioned too that the gifts this year were outstanding. I mean, things went around. Of course, thank goodness to our Northern DXers are here with us. But Robert, his radio went back and forth. I think we counted 7 times.
8.
8, and I think
It broke my previous record of 6.
6. And I reviewed the video, and were you number 7?
Yes.
All right, let's number 7. All right, so you got to take it home, or you?
Yes.
All right. Nice radio, huh?
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
Gorgeous. Can't say enough about it.
No, you're right. Unbelievable guys. They are incredible craftsmen. Okay. All right. Any other comments about our holiday party? Nada? Okay.
When's the next one?
December 12th, I think. Don't hold me to that. I think it's 12th. Right?
Sounds good.
All right. And we got to thank again
Bill?
Lynn and Bill Zukowski for hosting us.
Absolutely.
And again, we're not hearing this, unfortunately, but they will on YouTube.
Absolutely.
You know, for what we get there and what we are able to do, you know, in our past, we went to some places that you don't want to know. I don't even want to think about that because we had some holiday parties. They were pretty basic. So, all right. Okay. All right. So last Saturday, all right, JD Auction Services held their first auction for 2024 at the Jackson Firehouse in Jackson. I attended with many other club members. Comments, and maybe we have public comments, and then we'll have the D of JD give a comment. All right, talk. Anybody? Comments? You don't have to be bashful. Did anyone go home with some nice stuff?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, I don't really have much to say about it other than Darren and I were both, we were like looking at each other and saying, you know, it's amazing we had as many people come in as we thought, you know, more people, because there was a threat of snow. And, you know, even when Sharon and I were going home in the car, I mean, we just got to the parking lot, it was already starting to snow, so it was, you know.
Yeah, that caused me to leave the auction early too.
Yeah. So I can't speak for Darren, but I think, you know, given the circumstances, it went quite well.
No, I think so too. I thought it was spectacular, actually. There were no $37,000 microphones, but we still had a good time. You know? All right, so Darren, talk. Come on up.
We're really happy with how it turned out because the weather was threatening and unpredictable, but it actually timed perfectly that it really didn't start heavily coming down to basically the end of the auction. But we tried, there's no guarantees in anything, do it, you know, that location this time of year is maybe less likely to have heavy snow than other places. So we tried to do it, but this time of year is unpredictable because we could have a blizzard, you know, with less than 2 days notice. So we tried, and we're very happy with the number of people who came out. We thank everybody who came out, and we're very happy that the number of people did brave the threat of weather and came out, and I hope everybody got home safely. But it was a nice auction, and there were some good deals. Some stuff went for a lot of money, but some stuff was very reasonably. I thought we don't control that, obviously. But
Something for everyone.
yeah, there's something for everyone. And we're going to be doing one. We will announce it soon. It will be in March or April. And we're going to have some pretty nice stuff. It's looking like we're going to have some pretty decent stuff. So we're still working on that.
Great.
Okay, thank you, Darren. That's the D of JD Auction Services. And let me add a little something to that, or something pretty good to that. Darren gave me this evening proceeds for the New Jersey Antique Radio Club, where we had X amount of lots in the auction, and we have a net profit to our club of $1,010. So thank you very much.
Wow.
And this, hold on. But the thanks should go to Ray Chase, okay? Ray, where are you? Oh, there he is. Wait a minute. Ray and Bruce Ingram, okay? They continue to put the work together for our club and the things that are donated to our club and that are ready to be sold. And thanks to them, this is how we get this, okay? Also, they put together some stock of things that are donated to Infoage in particular, and Infoage also received a check. So, again, the intrepid Ray Chase and Bruce Ingram, amazing people. Okay. All right, any other old business? Silly question, nobody can remember anything. Before I go on to new business? Oh, have I mentioned anything here about dues are due? Well, I think dues are due, and I think everybody in this room has already paid their dues. Right? Everybody's in?
Yeah.
Okay, great, good. All right, and I understand, Dave Sika is controlling the PayPal through the club. And he keeps me in contact with that, and it's boom, 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 it's coming through. That really works out, pushing that button with the PayPal. I mean, I happen to like paying right here on this evening, but that helps, especially people that can't get out, or certainly our DX membership. That really works out well. So, yeah, for our renewals. And I have to thank also our lady, I call her the mistress of renewals, Marcia Simpkin. And she takes care of the paperwork. Everything will eventually go to her, and she'll tabulate everything and let us know. And let me know in particular the deadbeats. Don't renew. So, anyway, I don't think we'll have too many this time around. All right, I'm looking forward to our broadcast AM Dx contest, which will be Friday, January 19th to Sunday, January 28th. And as you can see, Al is all ready with a pep talk for us, and no matter how many times we've seen this or haven't seen it, if it's anybody new to them, it's a fantastic kickoff for everybody. And you always learn something. Al always adds something into it. And I think it's a lot of fun. Al's brought a couple of not ultralights, but transistorized radios down there. And I also brought my 2021 winning ultralight that anybody wants to play with. They can see what I built. And my log too. It's a lot of fun, guys. It's a lot of fun. And it's what we do. And remember, we as a contingent of people going back over 100 years, this is how we started. This is really how we started in DXing. Okay. And I'm also interested and pretty excited about bringing in some guest speakers for presentations this year. And if anybody here has an idea for a presentation, please let me know, okay? We'll figure it out, be it here or Princeton. And believe me, you'll be archived forever. Your grandchildren can see you, which is a kind of a nice thing when you think about it. So let me know. I have changed my email address. I will put it out to everyone in the communicator. I haven't had the courage to do it yet, but Radio Rich has been retired. Not that I retired it, but Yahoo is retiring me.
Sorry.
Yeah. And it's a complicated story, but I have my Gmail account, and that's radioricardo61@gmail.com. So try and keep that in your any contacts with me to follow suit, because it's going to get lost in the sauce to Radio Rich. All right, any other new business I should be talking about? How are we doing? Oh, can't talk to Harry, but Ray, how are we doing on docents for the museum?
We're holding our own, but we could always use more.
Okay, great. Always need more. And especially folks that live near here, okay? There's a lot of folks that live near here that could be helpful too. Museums open Wednesdays, Saturdays, and Sundays, 1 to 4:30, 5 o'clock. All right, Ham Shack Corner. Well, obviously it's January, February, and there's not many ham fests unless you happen to be attending Hamcation down in Florida. I think that's near Orlando. And that would be Frank Fesco. I think Frank goes every year. Flork, they had their annual Hamfest annual auction, which is the Friday after Thanksgiving. I've attended a couple of times, and it's always a good show. A lot of stuff that maybe ham radio stuff that hams don't want, we want, and that's okay too. Bobby, you attend? Were you able to go?
To where? I'm sorry?
Clark's auction following Friday of Thanksgiving.
Oh, Thanksgiving. Yeah, I went with Paul. That's right.
Went to Paul? Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. It's like a long time ago now.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just getting a little sleepy.
Don't be sorry.
It's shrinking though. The size of the.
Is it? Well,
Yeah.
there's times when in that senior center it was packed. It was really packed. That was like 3 years ago.
Yeah, it's kind of shrinking, and they kind of need. Well, they've had some changing of the guard over there, so there's a little bit of conflict between some of the membership. So when the auction actually got going, albeit it was still a nice auction, but they're a little bit disorganized and stuff. So it actually went kind of late into the evening.
Oh.
To the point where Paul just said, "Bob, I'm falling asleep. Let's just get out of here." And then we just loaded up the car, but left, paid for what we got and left.
Is it the president of that club actually has dark hair, doesn't he?
Not anymore.
And he lost it already? Just by being the president of that club?
Well, I know you're talking about, there used to be a younger guy there, but he's gone now for some reason. I don't know. I think that's the fellow you're talking about.
Yeah.
The guy that was there before him, the heavyset guy that also has a place in Florida.
Yes.
Yeah, he was kind of running this one.
Okay. Well,
So.
Well, we don't want to see that happen. We don't want anything to disappear.
It was nice because we still got to see Fred, you know.
Yeah, Fred Janet.
Yes, they were there, and it was cool. We had a couple of people there, Hampton area, Paul and I know, so it was nice seeing people.
Good. Okay. Well, I did attend Limemark, which is November 12th at Hamfest in Hicksville, Long Island, along with members Jerry Gordo, John Cummer, Carl Grainer, and David Tom. David, you see him at our, he comes out to our Hamfest shows here in New Jersey, but he lives in Long Island. Okay, good show. It was all indoors. And I actually won an ARRL gift certificate for $50, the one I'm always auctioning off at our own PAL swap meets, for $50. And I bought an ARRL blue windbreaker that they had from their merchandise catalog. And it was pretty neat. I will wear it in the springtime. It was a lot of fun. All right, anything else? Ham Shack, anything, old business, anything? Anybody want to talk about before we move on? Okay, then we will have a very, very short break. And Al Klase will give us his pep talk, and then we will have a members-only auction of stuff. And I think we have some giveaway incandescent lamps back there that Tom Provost brought us kindly. That's very nice. And we have some, no, we don't have any more records. They're all gone. Good, very good. So let's have a very short break, guys. Technical coordinator and actually a DX expert, especially when it comes to crystal sets. He loves them and builds them. So Al, take it away.
I've been doing this for about 25 years now. Some of you guys have become hardcore DXers, but this presentation is aimed at the rest of you who never got around to doing this, and we'll kind of show you the easy way to go about this. Also, we're now here in the 21st century, so you'll see QR codes around. There's one on the sign back there, and there's one here. Grab it on your cell phone. That will take you to the contest page, which contains all the stuff you're going to see here plus more. So a lot of resources, and that's important to participating in the contest. We'll skip that. So, contest runs for 10 days, starts on a Friday night through Saturday night following week. When I laid this out originally, I think it's been pretty successful, is that's divided up into separate 24-hour contest periods, noon to noon, so overnight for a particular day. And during each period, you use one radio and you log your 10 most distant stations to establish a score. That keeps it simple. That means some geek that stays up all night, 10 nights, isn't gonna wipe you out. And it also means if you practice a little bit, you can sit down in the evening and in 3 or 4 hours you can knock out a good log without a whole lot of effort, but it's fun. Also, we have 10 equipment categories, so you'll be competing against people with similar radios. So yes, an all-American 5 thing, you're not going to have to duke it out with somebody with a digital communication receiver. That's a different thing. Like I said, it's categories. On the web page, there's a thing that's called the contest kit. That's a PDF, has printout logs and all that kind of stuff you might want to use. And on the contest page, there's some other stuff there as well. So, the basics. Of course, you probably all know this. During the day, the AM stations are good for maybe 50 or 100 miles, depending on how much power they're running and just where you are. But at night, you can hear stations at considerable distance, and especially the 50 kilowatt guys. And so the guys within 500 miles, they're easy, but you'll hear a lot of loud stations out in the 700, 800, 900 miles KXEL, and they're not too difficult to pick up, but you want to know where to look for them. And then when conditions are good and you know what you're doing, you can reach out, maybe KOA in Denver is 1,600 miles. Cuba is another good target because that's largely an over-water path, and sometimes the signals from Cuba are real strong, so that's one of the target areas here. Also, recently, this WFLA in Orlando has shown up. However, they identify as WFLA, which is a little confusing, but 540, and it's 900 some miles, so that's another good one. So, where do I start? And what I suggest is if you've never DX'd before, grab a portable radio. If it's a digital radio, that's even better because that leaves you sort out the frequencies real easy. And maybe you'll use that in competition, maybe you won't, maybe you'll use it to calibrate your prized antique receiver. But I suggest start out with a portable. And these things all have a ferrite rod antenna across the top of here. And that has a response pattern like so. That is, it has maximum pickup off the sides and a null off the ends. And the null will let you, for instance, null out 880 out of New York and maybe hear 870 out of at WWL in New Orleans. So loop antenna, knowing how to negotiate that is a real good thing, and you want to practice at that a little bit. So, have some exercises. And first, survey your radio environment. So take your radio in the daytime, tune some local stations, move the radio around, observe how the signals go up and down, and just get used to how that works. Then exercise 2, again in the daytime. Tune a weak station. Figure out which orientation will get you best reception. Then walk around the house and find a quiet place where you can hear it really well. Maybe a window, maybe up against an outside wall. My house in Jersey City, it's upstairs under the eaves. So find yourself a good place to be listening. Okay, some basic DX exercises at night. Take that radio to 900 kilohertz. That's CHML in Ontario. It's 300 and some miles. They're usually pretty strong. That'll just prove to you that you can hear some DX. You know, I mean, if you're in a really noisy, really awful place, that might be a problem. But that's a good place to start. And then my next exercise is suggest you tune 770 WABC, and the way I break it up this way is, especially if you're not on a digital radio, this gives you a frequency reference. And so from WABC, if you tune up 10 kilohertz, you get WBBM in Chicago. You tune down 10 kilohertz, you got WSB in Atlanta, and another 10 kilohertz below that, you have a Zoomer radio out of Toronto. Okay, what do you do next? Well, I'll show you on the following page a list of stations I made up, and what you want to do, and let's just go to this next thing here. The stations with the asterisks here are the New York locals, for frequency reference. This log column, if you're using an analog radio, when you tune one of these DX stations and it's not quite dead on your dial, you can write a correction factor in here so you can tune back to it.
Right.
This is part of the preparation when you're practicing. And so that means when you're actually in a contest session, you can just go look for that station because you know exactly how to tune to it. I've got some numbers out here for difficulty. The number 1 stations are fairly easy to tune in, and maybe they're only 300-400 miles away. Concentrate on the number 2 stations, like Chicago is 700 miles away, same with Atlanta. Nashville, etc. So, and this list, which goes on down for the rest of the broadcast beyond, this contains at least 90% of the worthwhile stations you're going to hear. I mean, yeah, you can stay up, you can catch some 1,000-watt guy way out there on one of the noisy channels, you know, whatever. But these are the easy ones, and these are where you're going to get your scores that are easy to pick up and worthwhile to pick up. So choosing radios. Portables have the advantage that, especially if they're digital, you can accurately identify the stations. And you can use that digital portable to calibrate an analog receiver so you can trust the dial. The portables have the advantage of just carrying around the house, find a place, and they're easy to rotate this way to null out or peak a station. Any radio with an internal loop antenna, this is most of your table radios from the 40s, 50s, or whatever, They can make good DX sets. You might want to arrange a lazy Susan to twist them around, but they're usable. Super heterodynes with external antenna connections, so that's things like the broadcast sets from the 30s and the various communication receivers. Even if you have a modern solid-state AM transceiver that's general coverage, that can make a good broadcast band DX machine. And what you end up doing there is using a loop antenna with that to get the advantage that you have with one of these other sets. You can try using a lot of wire outside, but 90% of the time, a loop's going to work better. Also, we have a category for primitive radios and 1920 sets and simple homebrews. This was Joe Devonshire's pretty good crystal set that he built in 2021 and up there in Maine, and you know, he heard a bunch of the New York stations, and you know, it's pretty good performance for one coil, one capacitor. Yeah. So you get a lot of fun with a crystal set. So don't be afraid to do a log, send it in. Now back to that antenna thing. Your house can be an interference zone. I mean, you've got all kinds of electrical stuff in there, and now we have switching power supplies and all kinds of that nastiness like that. And then in addition to that, it's kind of a shielded cage because you have wires and pipes and heating ducts surrounding the things. So the electrical part of radio signals coming from outside are shielded. And so if you deploy a wire antenna inside there, that doesn't work real well. But a loop antenna rejects the electrical noise and responds to the magnetic part of the radio signal, which penetrates the Faraday cage of the house pretty well. So that's why loops are a real advantage. And you can spend 30 bucks or so on Amazon there's now Cato, the one I have was labeled Texan, but they work real nice, tuning knob down here, a cable comes out of it, you hook it to your antenna. And if you have an inclination to build things, on the contest page there's a link to my loop antenna page, and that can be as simple as just take a cardboard box, wind some wire on it, put a variable cap on there, one turn pickup loop, and that can work passively well. So you can build your own loop without going too crazy on it. It's worthwhile.
Hey, Al,
Yes?
why only practical on super headsets?
Well, the aperture of such an antenna, the pickup is pretty low. So you need a radio that has a lot of gain to be able to use the thing. Now, people have asked about TRF sets from the 20s and 30s. You might get away with that, but the problem there is you have this tuned circuit out here at 1 megahertz, and then 5 tuned circuits in the TRF set at 1 megahertz amplifying the signal. Then you get feedback out to the antenna, which sometimes is a good thing because the whole thing turns into a regenerative receiver, but generally it doesn't work real well. So, you know, it's like that's mostly what you want to do with a super head. Okay, strategy. And what I like, let me go the other way here. What I like to do is start early in the evening, like 7 o'clock or something, because during late drive time, and then you have central time and all that, stations identified pretty frequently. So it's pretty easy to knock out a contact. You need to get an ID from the station you hear, right, so that you know that's what you've got. And so you start early in the evening, it's easier to do. And what I suggest is if you find you're hearing reasonably well, start by harvesting those 700-mile stations, Chicago, Atlanta, etc. And then after that, you can move on to like KMOX and WLIC, some guys farther out. So anyway, let me, on the next page, well, okay, so you've got like, if you use 77 for reference, you can just tune up and down and get to these other stations. And I've got a real world example of that here in the next slide. Second time it's down and tune right to a frequency. All this happens in just a couple of minutes. That easy.
Yep.
Now, did up this chart where I highlighted the green stations, the ones to look for first, and then the yellow stations, you know, after you've got some of these other ones in the bag.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you know, like I said, strategy is get as many of those green stations as you can, you know, first hour or so, and that gives you a good basis for a log that you can fill in, and you can always kick one of those out when you get your 11th station that's louder. Radio Raylo, this is a Cuban phenomenon. They have this network of AM stations, and there's a bunch of different frequencies. The ones we hear here are a lot are 570 and 870. In fact, if you're listening for WL New Orleans on 870, you may hear Radio Raylo. Now, it's programming in Spanish, and sometimes the signal isn't even strong enough to hear the audio, or maybe you're on top of another station. But on the, there's a click, a tick on every second, and a loud beep, 100% modulated on the minute. And then they identify in Morse code RR for Radio Raylo after that. So if you start hearing ticks, yeah, that's what you want to listen for. If not, you can go to like 570, camp there for a while, have a clock running dead on time, and just watch it come up in a minute and see if you hear the beep. And then the RR, and boom, you've heard Cuba, it's 1,200 miles.
Yeah, why did they do that?
I don't know. It's insane.
Yeah.
Jim, why did they do that? You lived there.
Most Cubans don't have watches.
Oh, okay. But they don't say what time it years. That's how it's submitted. And I haven't been hearing Cuba real well recently, so I don't know what's going on there. I have an example.
De las élites entre quienes pretenden torcer el camino de la revolución. Este es un hombre que actúa como piensa y le da las convicciones, escribió Che a sus hijos, y el ejemplo de su vida nos pone a prueba a cada instante. Continuará.
Esos hombres imprescindibles conclusiones. 56 años atrás, en un remoto paraje de Bolivia, el Che Guevara lideró su último combate.
Anyway, other Cubans, there's some other Cuban stations you hear, and the two that I like, there's another network called Radio Rebelde, and they broadcast the same stuff on both frequencies. And the problem with the Cubans is, even if you speak some Spanish, they'll talk right through the hour, right through the quarter hour, right through the half hour, and not even draw a breath. They don't identify. But if you tune 606, well, 670 is also WSCR in Chicago, so you know that out. If you hear the same Spanish on both those frequencies, you can count that. It's called parallel. You count that as 2 Cubans. Boom, boom. And so that's a good point maker right there. Let's talk about logging a little bit. You submit a log, and we've got log forms, and at the top you have your name and address and phone number so we can get hold of you, and what radio you used, what antenna you used, and what category you think you're competing in. And then, of course, date and time, you heard the station, frequency, call, location, and the distance. And again, there's a logging scale on this chart if you need to make some marks on your thing. And then, so you're adding up your 10 best stations. Now, what I generally do is take a blank log and just scribble a log, and then I clean it up later on. And again, like I say, we're in the 21st century now. If you know how to use a spreadsheet, Microsoft Excel or whatever, there's this Excel thing, NJARC Easy Log. Unfortunately, we didn't get an announcement out in the broadcaster, and I was supposed to have something on the website. Didn't happen. I will put some stuff out via the communicator tomorrow. And if you want to just pull out your cell phone and read that guide, I don't think you to the contest page, and boom, you got it. So, okay, further questions?
No, thanks.
Okay, thank you very much.
It's a lot of fun, guys. It's a lot of fun. And again, this is what we started doing. This is what our ancestors started doing, over 100 years ago now. So let's be part of it. Come up with anything. I mean, it sounds crazy, but I have a Sony Q clock radio that's been with me forever. And I was just playing around with it the other night, and I was like, I can't believe this. I'm pulling in stations. I never thought I'd be able to pull in with this silly Cube Sony radio. And, clock radio, digital clock radio, probably 25, 30 years old. And so you never know. And that's the fun of it also, is you never know. Well, again, there are a couple of radios that you can listen to. Al's built a couple of them, and some of them are store-bought. I happen to have one there that I used in a contest a few years back that I built. I modified from a DX page that I found on the internet. And it was a lot of fun building too. A lot of fun. You never know. You absolutely never know. And like Al says with the antennas, you never know. That's something else. You just never know. What you build as an antenna, what you use as an antenna. The night, a lot of times, it's just dawn to dusk, different changes. What you can pick up in the strong stations recede. The high power stations and the little guys come up. Could be in Des Moines, Iowa, and you'd be absolutely amazed what you can do, the numbers you can pull in. So please join it and you'll really enjoy yourself. Okay, also I did bring in some paperwork that I had for a while now on ultralight. I happen to like ultralight. And it's a cheap hobby to get into, so to speak. There are proponents of it all over the world, actually.
Yeah, we define that as a radio under $100, under 20 cubic inches in volume.
Absolutely, yeah. And it could be way under $100. It's amazing what you can get with $20 radios nowadays. Yeah, we know, they come from China. We know that. We know. Okay, so you have no other questions for now? Nothing else? Okay. All right, so we are going to commence with our, well, we have basically two options. We have the two boat anchors that you see here tonight are donations to the club from good guy Joe Connor. One is a 101 NC 101, and one is a 240 NC boat anchor. I was told that they do work, and we have received radios from Joe in the past, and they did work. So are they tested? No, I didn't test them. I dusted them off and I brought them. There will be other radios down the line too from Joe that are waiting in my garage. So we'll start off with that, and then we'll have the members only auction, where what you brought in as a member, all right, D of JD Auction Services will auction them off, and the proceeds will go to you, not to the club at all. And now I just glanced over to this guy named Tom Provost, and I forgot to mention that he will be assembling logs from our DX contest. That's whether he knows it or not.
No, he knows it this time.
He knows it this time? Look at the face.
I was told it's for life.
Yes.
It's like the presidency.
Yeah. Yes, right, okay. Thank you, Tom. Thank you always. You do a great job with that, too. Okay, so, without further ado, let's go auction. Here we go.
These are the club sets? Those two matches? No reserve on it, right?
No reserve.
Okay. So, we have, I think this is an NC10. Is that correct?
NC101.
101. Yeah, maybe this one. Yeah, all right. NC101 supposedly working. How about $20 on the NC101? How about $20 on the NC101? How about $10 on the NC? Oh, 10 now, 10 now, 10 now, 12, 10 now, 12, 10 now, 12, 10 now, 12. Oh boy, somebody's going to get a bargain here. Hold on, $10. Oh, 12. All right, 12 now, 14, 12 now, 14, 12 now, 14, 14 now, 16, 14 now, 16, 14 now, 16, 16 now, 18, 16 now, 18, 16 now, 18, 18 now, 20, 18 now, 20, 18 now, 20, all done $18, $18 going once, twice sold $18. Pay Rich for that. Okay. Okay, and I think this one is an NC 200 maybe?
240.
240, okay. Well, this says NC 200 on the book, so. Oh, that's what, okay.
It's an anniversary version.
Okay.
25 years of the, I think it was the AW.
Yeah, I think there was a difference with the national logo on the 25.
Yeah, it says, if you look closely, it says that.
Yeah, okay. All right, so we have an NC 200 anniversary edition. How about $20 on the NC 200, $20 on the NC 200? 20 now, 22, 50, 20 now, 25, 25 now, 30, 25 now, 30 now, 35, 30 now, 35 now, 40, 35 now, 40 now, 45, 40 now, 45, 45 now, 50, 45 now, 50, 45 now, 50, 50 now, 55, 50 now, 55 now, 60, 55 now, 60, 55 now, 60, 60 now, 65, 65 now, 70, 65 now, 70, 65 now, 70, all done at $65, 65 going once, twice, sold $65.
All right, James, thank you.
Okay, next. We have vintage Fair Radio catalogs. Oh boy, these are going to be collectible pretty soon. Not going to be able to get these anymore. Great reference. How about $5 on the Fair Radio catalog? $5 on the catalogs? Dollar on the catalogs. Dollar on the catalogs? Dollar on the catalogs. Do we know whose catalogs these are, by the way? $1 on the catalogs? No interest. Okay. Does all of this stuff belong to the same person?
Yeah, sure.
What's that?
You guys are friggin' jerk. That's me.
Okay. All right, so can I bundle items together?
Absolutely.
Okay. So you're getting a FireWire card and fair radio catalogs. How about $1 on the FireWire card and fair radio catalogs? $1 on both?
I'll go $1.
$1
All right, Leo.
$1 now $2, $1 now $2, $1 now $2, hold on, $2 now $3, $2 now $3,
All right.
$2 now $3, $2 now $3,
Uh-oh.
$3 now $4, $4 now $5, $4 now $5,
It's Brian Dave.
$4 now $5, $4 going once, twice, sold, $4. Okay, you pay him directly, not with him. Okay, we have an NJARC challenge coin here.
Goes to the club, proceeds.
This looks like it was made on a CNC laser machine, yeah. All right, a lot of work went into this. How about $5 on a challenge coin? $5 worth, $5 on a challenge coin? $2 on a challenge coin. Come on, it's unique. There's only one. $2 on a challenge coin. $2 on a challenge coin. $2 where? $1 on a challenge coin. Come on, guys. $1 on the challenge, $1 now.
There we go.
$2 now $3, $2 now $3, $2 now $3. Hold on $2, going once, twice, sold $2. You can pay it. All right. Whose VFO is this? Is this your VFO? Nice Heat Kit VFO. This is a late 50s. How about $10 on a VFO? $10 worth on a Heat Kit VFO. $10 on a Heat Kit VFO. $5 on a Heat Kit VFO. Okay, 5, 6. 6 now 7. 6 now 7. 6 now 7. 6 now 7. Hold on $6. $6.
Wow.
7 now 8. 7 now 8. 7 now 8. 8 now 9. 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 Hold on $8. $8 going once, twice, sold $8. Change your tune a little bit here. This is nice. Here we have.
That's a pre-war BP-10.
Yep, an RCA vest pocket radio. Right? And the leatherette is in good shape. This is a tube radio. You open the lid, the radio plays. Nice. The chrome is nice. How about the handles over? Look at that. How about $10 on the RCA? $10 where? $10 on the RCA? 10 now 12. 10 now 12. 10 now 12. 12 now 15. 12 now 15. Now 17. 15 now 17. 15 now 17. Now 20. 20 now 25. 20 now 25. 20 now 25. 20 now 22. 20 now 22. 20 now 22. Hold on at $20. $20 going once. Twice. Sold $20. Whose is this? Is this yours as well, sir? Is this your RCA?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you pay him.
Okay.
Okay. All right. We have a tuning capacitor. Another super parts bargain for us. How about $1 on a tuning capacitor? $1 now 2, 2 now 3, 2 now 3, 2 now 3. Hold on at $2. Going once. What's that? 3 now 4, 3 now 4, 3 now 4 now 5, 4 now 5, 4 now 5, 4 now 5. Hold on $4 going once. Twice sold $4. Okay. This is a lapel mic for an HT that somebody changed the plug on. How about $1 on the mic, $1 on the mic, $1 now 2, $1 now 2, $1 now 2, all done, $1, $2, 2 now 3, 2 now 3, 2 now 3 now 4, 3 now 4, 3 now 4, 3 now 4, $3 on once, twice, sold, now for $3.
Unless you're gonna bid on something.
All right, we have a nice little Heat Kits RF signal generator. Somebody put newer plugs on it, which means it's probably working. It's completely restored. Completely restored. Okay?
Wow.
Nobody needs. How about $20 on a restored signal generator? $20 where? $20 on a signal generator. $10 on a signal generator. $10. 10 now 12. 10 now 12. 10 now 12. Now 15. 12 now 15. 15 now 17. 15 now 17. Now 20. 17 now 20. 17 now 20. 20 now 25. 20 now 25. 20 now 25. Now 30. 25 now 30. 25 now 27. 25 now 27. 25 now 27. 20, what's that? 27 now 30. 27 now 30. 27 now 30. 30 now 35. 30 now 35. 30 now 35. Hold on $30. Going once, twice, sold $30.
Nice.
Okay. Is this the same? Is this?
Who's he paying?
I think that's Scott's.
That's nice. This is also Scott, okay.
Completely working.
Completely working. You got your own little DJ broadcaster here. How about $10 on the broadcaster, $10 where, $10 on the broadcaster, got the cassette deck on here, $10, $5 on the broadcaster, $5 where, $5 on the broadcaster, $2 on the broadcaster, two now free, two now free, two now free, two now free, $2 going once, twice, sold it down to $2. Is this also your stuff? Okay. All right, so we have a little Insignia HD radio. So this does the digital HD stuff. Okay, how about $5 on the HD radio? $5 where you can get all those hidden stations. $5, 5 now, 7, 5 now, 7, 5 now, 7 now, 10, 7 now, 10, 7 now, 10, 7 now, 10, 10 now, 12, 10 now, 12, 10 now, 12, now 15, 12 now, 15, 12 now, 15, all done at $12, $12 going once, twice, sold to Phil for $12. Okay, we got a storm coming.
Darren, did they radio DJ stuff?
Yes. No.
No. How much?
$2.
$2?
Yeah. We got a storm coming, we got a cranky radio. Crank the Model T, crank the radio. How about $5 on the cranky radio, $5 where 5 now 7, 5 now 7, 5 now 7, hold on $5, going once and twice, sold $5. I think this is this also Scott?
Me.
Oh, that's you, I'm sorry. All right, this looks like a Bluetooth receiver, am I correct?
That's correct, yes.
Yeah.
High five.
Why me? Why me? Why not? Why me? And go over, go across the pond.
From Europe,
Okay, how about $5 on a Bluetooth receiver? $5 where 5 now 7, 5 now 7, 5 now 7, 5 now 7, 5 now 7. Hold on at $5, $5 going once.
Neville.
7 now 10, 7 now 10, 7 now 10 now 12, 7 10 now 12, 10 now 12, 10 now 12. Hold on at $10, $10 going once, twice, sold $10. Okay, I think that concludes the
Finest would like to spread the good word about their peanut butter. And here's the word, delicious. Everything that goes into Finest peanut butter is grade A all the way. They make peanut butter the way it should be made. Peanutty, smooth.